By the end of this video, you are going to know the best anti-inflammatory drinks to help you become a healthier version of yourself. Whether you're looking to boost your immune system, reduce oxidative stress, or alleviate pain, these drinks are here to help. Inflammation is on the rise globally, bringing down the quality and the duration of people's lives in this new term coined inflammation. See, when it's good, inflammation helps fight off pathogens, it heals wounds, it clears up debris. But when it's bad, it ignites a long list of disorders such as asthma, arthritis, blindness, cancer, atherosclerosis, diabetes, even mental illness, and it's linked with 9 of the top 10 leading causes of death. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how you can fight back with nature's most powerful drinks to help boost energy and fight or prevent chronic inflammation and make life easier for you. If this is something you want, then you need to start making these drinks for yourself. Here are my top 5 anti-inflammatory elixirs that will change your life. Number 3 will also help create boundless energy, and number 5 might surprise you because you probably don't even think of it as a health drink. And you might be asking, why drinks? Well, it doesn't need to be, it's all about the ingredients. But the drinks offer a simple way of being able to combine multiple nutrients in good supply in an easy way that also tastes good. So it's easy to adopt into your routine and you can drink multiple a day. They're easily digested and you can just sip your way to better health. So number 1 is lemon and ginger shots. Ginger is packed full of powerful compounds like gingerol, shalgol, and zingerone. Yes, I know it sounds like I'm making these up. Well, I like to think of inflammation, as was taught to me, as being like a fire. Not only because it destroys everything around it, but because there are multiple ways in which you can tackle it. All the ingredients that I've picked throughout this video help to attack each element of this fire. Let me explain. In studies, ginger, for example, has been shown to inhibit nuclear factor kappa B. This is a key inflammatory pathway. Inhibiting this is like stopping the fuel of the fire, but it also helps reduce pro-inflammatory cytokines, things like tumor necrosis factor and C-reactive protein. These are like the flames of the fire. But not only that, it also has antioxidant effects, protecting your cells from oxidative stress, which lies at the root of much of inflammation, i.e. the ignition. In a study of those with rheumatoid arthritis, this awful autoimmune inflammatory condition, it was shown that those who had 1.5 grams of ginger daily had a significant reduction in the interleukins and CRP, these inflammatory proteins. Now, for many people, inflammation starts and ends with inflammation in the gut. The immune response at the GI tract can lead to inflammation when the gut barrier and the gut biome are altered and dysfunctional. The gut biome, or the flora, this ecology of life that sits within your gut, has a close relationship with inflammation and plays an important role in the treatment of people with inflammatory bowel disease. But it's been shown that those with inflammatory bowel disease and this imbalance in their gut biome, this dysbiosis, that by giving them ginger, it helped improve the functions of the gut microbiota, restoring its diversity. In addition, it's been shown that ginger can have potential anti-cancer benefits, as it has anti-proliferative effects, i.e. anti-growth effects on tumor cells, as well as bringing down inflammation, which of course fuels cancer. And it does this working on various different biological pathways regarding the cell cycle and life. But for all this, all these biochemical changes and changes in markers, what you really want to know is, does this translate to actual benefit? And the truth is, we observe in randomized controlled trials that ginger is as effective as non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen when treating things like arthritis and period pains. And of course, doesn't come with the nasty side effects. As a pro tip, you can also add cayenne pepper, which contains capsicum. Now, this is also an anti-inflammatory and has certain health benefits, and we'll give it that extra little kick. And you'll find the recipe in the description. Number 2 is a gold turmeric latte. Turmeric is a super spice because it contains one of the most potent anti-inflammatory compounds we know, curcumin. Curcumin scavenges all the reactive metabolites like reactive oxygen species and nitrogen species, these byproducts of metabolism that can cause inflammation to surrounding cells. It mops up all of these, leading to reduced oxidative stress, tackling that ignition of the fire. But it also acts on pathways to boost glutathione, which is just the guardian of your cells, it helps protect them. But once more, curcumin also acts on the intestines and ameliorates altered intestinal barrier function caused by inflammation, and also squashes the flames, these inflammatory cytokines, things like interleukins and tumor necrosis factor. Curcumin also shows promise with neurodegenerative diseases, things like Alzheimer's, as it's been shown to help reduce the accumulation, this aggregation of this plaque known as amyloid beta, which has a strong association with the development of Alzheimer's. And epidemiological studies show that populations with this higher turmeric consumption tend to have much lower rates of Alzheimer's. So protect your memories, protect who you are. Turmeric could be a way of doing that. What's more though, it also helps to tackle certain pathways linked with cancer and overall inflammation. Things like your cyclooxygenase 2 pathway, which is the same pathway that a number of anti-inflammatory medications work on, but it does it in this natural way, and has been shown to even encourage apoptosis, which is programmed cell death of cancer cells. Now, one of the issues we see with turmeric is poor absorption in the gut, but this can be enhanced by the little addition of some black pepper, which again is included in the recipe, which will be in the description. Now, before I get on to number 3, I'm going to need you to hit that subscribe button and ring ding ding that bell. I'm an acute medical specialty doctor with a love for longevity and performance medicine, and I release videos every week that I hope to help improve your health. Clicking that button will be the easiest thing you do today, I promise, but it will benefit you for years to come. Number 3 is a berry smoothie with chia. This fruity concoction will blow your taste buds, but will be a welcome treat for your gut and your mitochondria, because berries are a fantastic source of polyphenols and other bioactive compounds that can help reduce inflammation and therefore your risk of chronic disease. Polyphenols such as anthocyanins are what give berries their amazing vibrant color, those reds, those blues and purples. But they don't just look good, they have strong antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. Black chokeberries have the highest concentration of polyphenols, but we find them in high quantities in blueberries and blackberries, elderberries. This is why you want to opt for berries with this rich color of red, blues and purples. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Once more, these berries help silence the signaling pathways that encourage and fuel inflammation, because it is this sustained pro-inflammatory state that leads to many conditions, even things like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and Alzheimer's as mentioned. But berries may help reduce the risk of these diseases. These phenolic compounds in berries actually modulate the expression of certain genes involved in apoptosis, lipid metabolism, which is a source of inflammation for many people, and even the production of mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells that produce all the usable energy in your body. In this study, in overweight individuals who just ate 150 grams of blueberries a day for 6 months, they had far better endothelial function. This is the lining of the arteries, and when dysfunctional can lead to cardiovascular disease. They also had better HDL cholesterol, known as the good cholesterol. And this study proposed that these blueberry eaters had a 12 to 15% reduction in their cardiovascular risk, just following this simple practice. And in another study, it was shown that cranberry could help reduce the lipid peroxidation within the liver, decreasing the inflammatory status. And cherry tart has also been shown to be a wonderful anti-inflammatory compound, particularly in exercise-induced inflammation. So imagine what happens when you combine all these into a smoothie. And once more, let's return to the gut, where studies have demonstrated that the consumption of blueberries, black raspberries, and lignan berries increase the count of beneficial bacteria that has anti-obesity and anti-inflammatory effects. Now for the chia seeds, for such a small thing, they pack a mighty punch and can be added to pretty much any drink. A huge meta-analysis studying the effects of chia seed supplementation found that levels of C-reactive protein were significantly reduced across these studies, indicating a substantial effect on mitigating inflammation. Now, omega-3 is also a very important compound when it comes to inflammation and also overall health, and is typically found in low quantities in Western diets. Good sources tend to be oily fish, but unless you're going to blend up some salmon into your smoothie, then chia seeds offer a great alternative. And here's a bonus tip: if you want to fortify the benefits to your gut even more, then adding some kefir yogurt will not only improve the taste, but the live bacterium cultures in there will help support proper gut biome health. Number 4 is good old green tea. It has been consumed for thousands of years and touted for its many medicinal qualities, because it is also rich in polyphenols, things like epigalacticin-3 gallate, or EGCG as it's abbreviated. And it's been extensively studied for its ability to induce these anti-inflammatory effects. and mitigate the effects of chronic inflammatory diseases. For example, studies that have looked at inflammatory bowel diseases demonstrate that green tea restores gut barrier function, reduces inflammatory cytokines, and enhances apoptosis of defective intestinal cells, i.e. clearing house of defective cells that aren't working. And these effects were comparable to sulfasalazine, which is the mainstay of treatment of inflammatory bowel disease. So imagine if you could tackle it without having to take these medicines. You'll notice that many of these nutrients have a direct effect on gut health. And that is because of what I mentioned. It often starts here in the gut. Your gut biome and your intestinal function are your barrier to the world. Every morsel of food that you put in your mouth comes into contact with this life within your gut and the barrier that decides what is allowed in and what is not. It determines how well your food is broken down and how you react to it. So if it is dysfunctional, it often lies as the source of inflammation, not just within the gut, but systemically around the body. But moving on to green tea's cardiac benefits. An article published in the European Journal of Preventative Cardiology surveyed data of 100,000 people and found that those frequent tea drinkers were 20% less likely to suffer from stroke or heart disease. And it was green tea that had the strongest impact. So this is a super easy and cheap drink that you can have multiple of a day, or can be combined with other drinks, such as adding some of that ginger or lemon or honey. And number 5 is hot chocolate. I could not have a nice hot treat in there, and cocoa was called food of the gods for a reason. Raw cacao or minimally processed cocoa is rich in flavonoids, which help fight the formation of these free radicals, these byproducts of your metabolism that can act like little wrecking balls, damaging cells around them until they're mopped up. But it also contains catechin, which is thought to have an anti-inflammatory action as well. There have been approximately 70 human studies looking at the effects of cocoa with a variety of different endpoints. But these studies suggest that the most robust biomarkers affected are endothelial function, blood pressure, and cholesterol level. A study found that those who regularly ate 20 grams of dark chocolate every 3 days had lower levels of that C-reactive protein, that dangerous inflammatory protein, and so closely related with cardiovascular disease. But cacao is also very high in fiber, which is just a great treat for your gut, and it may even have anti-cancer properties as well. You want to be aiming for minimally processed, i.e. dark chocolate with at least 85% cocoa. Now you can find all the recipes for the drinks I've mentioned in the description, but please have a go at making your own. You have all the ingredients there. As always, when fighting inflammation, take a holistic approach. There may not be one single answer to the problem. You need to look at sleep, your overall nutrition, exercise, and stresses in your life. Discuss with your doctor, but please do leave a comment if you have any ideas, any thoughts, or I can help in any way. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd love to have you along for the journey. And in the meantime, if you want to find out 7 healthy habits that help change my life, then watch this next video. Until then, take care.